First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who still rule and teach well, and peace and blessings and safety to the Lord's elect scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and the title of this lesson is "Cursed Be the Day Wherein I Was Born." Okay, and the day wherein I was born just so happens to be today. Okay, and you know the reason why the prophets spoke on cursing their birthday, and the reason why we don't celebrate our birthday is because, you know, it's a day when we were brought into this decrepit and vile, perverse flesh. It's a day wherein we come into a place of judgment. It's a day wherein you realize that you are not in that heavenly estate anymore. That's why the baby's coming to the earth crying. You know, and everything in this realm, in this society, is vanity and vexation of spirit, as King Solomon said. So this is the book of Job, chapter 3 and verse 1. After this opened Job his mouth and cursed his day. And Job spake and said, Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said, There is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not the Most High regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. And, you know, when we are born in this time, we're born in the valley of the shadow of death, you know, which is America. And we're born into these chains of darkness. It says, let darkness, everlasting chains of darkness in the book of Jude. Let's get that. Chapter 1 and verse 6, it says, the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitations, he have reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. And those everlasting chains under darkness is referring to this flesh, this sinful, this inherently wicked and sinful flesh. The Lord said that the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? Okay? And the day that you were born is the day that you began it in this thing. Job 3 and 5, let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the darkness of the day terrify it. As for that night, let darkness cease upon it. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months. Lo, that night be solitary. Let no joyful voice come therein. Yeah, so we don't celebrate it. We're not turning up, you know, on the day that we were born. You know, we're not treating it as if it's a high day or a special day. You know, it's just another day in this sinful flesh. Job 3 and 7, lo, let that night be solitary. Let no joyful voice come therein. Let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to rise up. It's like who are ready to raise up their morning. Let the stars of the twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day. Basically, you know, let it be a bad day. You know, let it be a bad day. Because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. Why died I not from the womb? Why did I not give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept. Then I had been at rest, because when we're not alive in this flesh, we're at rest in our spiritual body, our heavenly body, which is an obedient body, you know, which is a body where you don't feel pain. It's a body where you don't have to eat drink, shit, or sleep. Okay? And so Job, you know, the rough life that he had, and Job is a representation of the elect, of us men, you know, women and children. The rough life that he had, how the Most High gave it to him, and then the Most High took it away just to give it back to him in a double fold. You know, that's our story. But at this point in time in Job's walk, he realized that the day that we are born is not a good day. You know, and I pretty much got that same sentiment. And that's how I'm feeling right now today. You know, Job 1:6. It's like it, Jude 1:6. It says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitations have reserved, in everlasting chains under darkness, which is this flesh, unto the judgment of the great day. Right? Because this flesh is inherently wicked. This flesh is completely contrary to what we're trying to do. So why would this day be a good day when we were put in something that is completely contrary to what we're supposed to do? Galatians chapter 5 verse 17. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So why would we want to be in this state where we can't do the things that we would or that we should? Why would we? It said that they were contrary. Let's look up that word contrary. Contrary, a fact or condition incompatible with another. So the flesh and the spirit are incompatible with each other. So why would we want to stay in this state where we are incompatible? Okay, we have two factors in us, and those two factors are incompatible. That's a state of division. And we know that the Lord said anything that's divided can't stand. So this flesh has to go. Incompatible, not compatible. I hate when they do that. Incapable of being held by one person at a time. Unsuitable for use together. Right, so we are incompatible. The spirit and the flesh is unsuitable for use together. You know, they cannot coexist. Incapable of association or harmonious coexistence. You see? So the spirit and the flesh is incapable of association or harmonious coexistence. You can't have a harmonious coexistence with the spirit and the flesh. So being born in the flesh through your born day, your birthday, it's not a good day. It's not a good day. Like I said, after all, we are brought into a place of judgment. You know, this earth is not the paradise that it used to be, or that is going to be in the near future. Ecclesiastes 3:16, and moreover I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Okay, so this place under the sun, the planet Earth, is a place of judgment. Okay, so no, it's not a good thing that you're down here. You're down here to receive a judgment, to live out a judgment, and we don't know what our judgment is. Okay, so fuck today. You know, Jeremiah 20:14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man-child is born unto thee, making him very glad. And let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew, and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning, and shouting at noontide, because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. You see, that's all that we get in this life is labor and sorrow. You know, our days are few. Let's see if I can find the description. Jeremiah 20:18. Wherefore came I not forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. So is this not what we are up against? Is this not what we're experiencing? You know. So, yeah. Job 14:1. It says, "Man that is born of woman is of few days and full of trouble." Yes, so that's our life, man. So what do you have to celebrate about coming in the day that you was born? What's so good about that? Job 14:1. Man that is born of a woman is of few days and full of trouble. You see? So our life is a few days full of trouble. You know, 2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 11, it says, "Because for their sakes I made the world, for Israel's sake." Okay, let's start at 10. It says, "And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that is now done." Right, when Adam transgressed, then the Lord decreed death. Okay, he gave us this corruptible, cheap, vile flesh. Verse 12, "Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail." This is the entrance of this world, man. This is the way that you're gonna get to the kingdom, by experiencing this flesh, which is full of sorrow and travail. 2nd Ezra 7 and 12. "Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail." Right, meaning the Lord cut that number down to the amount of people who could have access to the tree of life on that first ride. Okay, he made it narrow. He cut it down to 144,000 and the 1/3. Okay, it says, "They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful." So our days are few and evil, man, full of peril and very painful, man. You know, if the Lord had us here in Babylon for another 100 years, man, and I grew old, man, eventually I would die a painful death. Or could die a not painful death. But the majority of people, they die from a disease or some type of ailment, or some type of accident, or somebody attacks them, you know? So this is, man, we want out of this flesh, man. We want out of this flesh, man. We cannot do the things that we would desire to do, you know, to be perfect for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So Lord, when it's edifying, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Kwame Asherah Shalom.